Imagine you're out at sea, just another routine day of fishing, when suddenly something strange happens. A massive shark, the biggest you've ever seen, slowly approaches your boat, but it's moving differently. There's a huge bulge on its side and you can't figure out what's wrong. The next move could be life or death for both the fisherman and the shark. When a vet finally arrives and opens the shark's stomach, what she finds inside leaves everyone in total shock. What did the shark swallow, and how did it get there? One crisp morning off the coast of Arizona, the waves gently rocked a group of fishermen aboard their small boat. They had been out on the water for hours, casting their lines and waiting for a good haul. The Gulf Stream waters were known for their abundance of fish, but recently things hadn't been going so smoothly. Supplies were limited, deadlines were looming, and now there was an added menace lurking in the water: sharks. For weeks, the fishermen had been battling delays, their catches often interrupted by unexpected encounters with sharks that seemed to be growing bolder. Their boss had made it clear that if they didn't hit their target soon, their jobs could be on the line. Tension was already high as they worked to make up for lost time. Their thoughts focused more on survival than success. It was on one of these nerve-wracking mornings that something truly bizarre happened. One of the fishermen, Jake, stood at the bow of the boat gazing out at the horizon when suddenly something enormous caught his eye. He squinted against the glare of the sun, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. It was a shark, and not just any shark. This one was massive. But what really struck Jake was the way it moved. Unlike the swift, aggressive motions typical of sharks, this one was sluggish, as though it was struggling to swim. "Guys, come check this out," Jake called to the others, his voice laced with concern. The rest of the crew gathered around him, their eyes widening as they took in the sight. The shark was inching closer to the boat. But there was something else, a large bulge on its side. It looked unnatural, as if something was lodged inside the shark's stomach. The fishermen exchanged uneasy glances. They had never seen anything like this before. As the shark drew nearer, the crew debated what to do. Some argued they should just leave it alone, fearing that if the shark felt threatened, it could attack. Others, however, were too intrigued to turn away. What could be causing that strange bulge? Was the shark in danger? One thing was clear: they needed help. Jake pulled out his phone and dialed the number of a local veterinarian, Dr. Melissa Turner. She was well known in the area for her expertise in marine life, and if anyone could figure out what was wrong with this shark, it was her. After explaining the situation, Doctor, Turner didn't hesitate. "I'm on my way," she said, her voice calm but urgent. "Keep an eye on the shark, and whatever you do, don't let it out of your sight." The veterinarian quickly gathered her supplies, including a tranquilizer kit and surgical tools, and made her way to the fisherman's location. It wasn't easy. The journey required navigating through traffic and treacherous terrain along the coast, but Dr. Turner was determined to reach the shark before it was too late. Meanwhile, back on the boat, the fishermen were doing their best to keep the shark close. Its movements were growing more erratic, as though it sensed something was about to happen. The bulge on its side seemed to pulsate, and the men's anxiety grew with each passing minute. By the time Dr. Turner arrived, the tension was palpable. The shark had become increasingly agitated, and the fishermen were doing everything they could to keep it from thrashing about. Dr. Turner quickly assessed the situation, her eyes narrowing as she took in the shark's condition. "This isn't good," she muttered. "Whatever is in there, it's causing serious distress." With little time to waste, Dr. Turner prepared the tranquilizer. She knew the risks. Sedating a shark in the wild was a delicate procedure. Too little sedative, and the shark would still be able to attack. Too much, and it could stop breathing altogether. But there was no other option. The shark wouldn't survive much longer in its current state. As the tranquilizer took effect, the shark's movements slowed, and Dr. Turner moved in closer. She gently palpated the bulge on its side, trying to determine what was inside. The fishermen watched in silence, their breaths held as the vet began to make the first incision. Slowly and carefully, she cut through the shark's tough skin, exposing the layers of muscle beneath. The bulge was located near the stomach, and as Dr. Turner cut deeper, she finally saw what had caused it. She reached inside and pulled out a large object, covered in debris and slime. The object was a bag, a fisherman's tool bag to be precise. The fishermen stared in disbelief as Dr. Turner held it up for them to see. It was their bag, the one they had discarded weeks ago after one of their rods had broken. They had thrown it into the water, never imagining that a shark would mistake it for food. Inside the bag were several pieces of equipment, including a broken fishing rod and some leftover bait. The shark had apparently swallowed the bag, attracted by the scent of the bait, and it had lodged in its stomach, causing the bulge. The poor creature had been carrying it around ever since, unable to digest it or expel it. Dr. Turner quickly got to work stitching up the shark's incision. The surgery had gone well, but the shark wasn't out of danger yet. It would take time for it to recover, and there was always the risk of infection. To help monitor its progress, Doctor Turner implanted a tracking chip in the shark before releasing it back into the water. The fisherman stood on the deck, watching as the shark swam away, its movements much more fluid now that the obstruction had been removed. As the sun began to set on the horizon, the fishermen gathered around Dr. Turner, thanking her for saving the shark. But there was a deeper lesson to be learned from the day's events. "We've got to be more careful about what we leave in the ocean," Jake said, shaking his head. "It's not just about catching fish. We're affecting everything out there." Dr. Turner nodded in agreement. "The ocean is a delicate ecosystem. Every action has a ripple effect. This shark was lucky today, but not all marine life gets a second chance." The fishermen took her words to heart. From that day on, they made a conscious effort to be more mindful of their impact on the environment. They cleaned up after themselves, ensuring that no debris was left behind to harm the creatures they shared the ocean with. A few weeks later, Dr. Turner received an alert from the tracking chip she had implanted in the shark. It was moving well and had traveled a considerable distance from the shore, a sign that it was recovering nicely. The vet smiled to herself as she read the data. The shark had made it, thanks to the combined efforts of the fishermen and the quick-thinking veterinary team. The story of the shark became a local legend, a reminder of the importance of caring for the ocean and the creatures that call it home. And for the fishermen, it was a wake-up call, one that reminded them of the delicate balance of life in the sea and the responsibility they had to protect it. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the water, the fishermen cast their lines once more, but this time with a newfound respect for the world beneath the waves. And the shark? It swam free, a testament to the power of second chances and the importance of doing the right thing, no matter how big or small the creature in need.